In this video, we are focused on composite mapping. Let's start with an example to understand what we mean by this. If f of x is equal to x squared, so we have this function f of x, which is equal to x squared, and g of x is equal to 2x minus 1, we are to find a g of f of x. That is how this is pronounced. Sometimes you see this as a dot or as an open circle, it doesn't matter. So this means g of f of x, and then this is f of g of x. Okay, now let's understand what we mean by g of f of x. Now we write it down. We have to find g of f of x. Sometimes it is written this way, without that dot in between the two functions. Okay, is equal to. What this means is that we are to do the g of f of x, which is g, and then we open up a bracket and put in the function of f, the function f into it, which is x squared. So now this is g of x squared. When we do value of a function, when you see something like this, all it means is that in the function represented by g, wherever you see x, you are to replace it with x squared. So we get into it. G of x squared means we have two, instead of having just x, we are going to place x squared there, because that is what it means. Wherever we see x, we are now to replace it with this inside the bracket, minus 1. And we don't need to solve anything further. This is done. Now for f of g of x, f of g of x is equal to, so f of g of x is 2x minus 1, right? So f of 2x minus 1. Now seeing this, all we need to understand from this is that when we get to the function represented by f, wherever we see x, we have to replace it with this thing inside the bracket, 2x minus 1. And then f of x is x squared. So instead of just having x squared, we are going to have 2x minus 1, because that is what is representing our x, and then we square it. And then the quickest way of squaring this is we are going to say 2x squared is 4x squared. Then for the middle term, this 2 times this times this. So 2 times 2x is 4x, 4x times minus 1 is minus 4x. And then 2 times minus 1 squared is equal to plus 1. So this is just it. So f of g of x is 4x minus 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. You can as well go ahead and then expand it, like draw the two brackets and then use the expansion method. But at the end of the day, this is just one of the easiest ways of expanding a squared bracket. Okay, if the function f is such that x is converted to 2x plus 1, and the function g is such that x is converted to 2 brackets x minus 2, what is the value of f of g of half? Okay, so now the first thing we have to find is f of g of x. When we find that, we are now going to substitute half into it, right? So f of g of x means, okay, before that, let me define what we have as g of x and f of x. From this, we can see that f of x is 2x plus 1, right? And then g of x is 2 brackets x minus 2. So f of g of x means f of whatever thing that is g of x, which is 2x minus 2. So this is what g of x is, right? So as we've learned, that what it means is that whenever we see x in this function f, we have to replace it with this in the bracket. Now in the brackets, let us open up these brackets so that we don't deal with too many brackets at once. We have that it is f of 2x, 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Good. So wherever we see x here, we have to replace it with 2x minus 4. Now in the function f, we have 2x. So we said 2 into this, 2x minus 4 plus 1. That's all. So we open up the bracket. We have that it is 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times minus 4 is minus 8 plus 1. There are like terms. We collect them. We have 4x minus 8 plus 1 is minus 7. So this is what f of g of x is equal to. Now, f of g of half is equal to, so that means wherever we see x, we are to replace it with half. We have 4 into half minus 7. Half of 4 is 2, right? 2 minus 7, which is equal to minus 5, right? So f of g of half is equal to minus 5. So you can see it's just very easy. Just follow the rules and you'll get to where you need to get to. Here we have this question. If f of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 2 and g of x is equal to x minus 1, for all x being an element, like being a real number, find the value of x for which f of g of x is equal to 0. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to find out what is f of g of x. And then when we find what it is, we are going to equate it to 0 and then find out what x should be for f of g of x to be equal to 0, for that composite function to be equal to 0. So don't panic. Let us do what we've already learned how to do, f of g of x. We have that. We already have the two equations here, no need to repeat it, or we can as well repeat it. But let's not repeat it. We have f of g of x is equal to f of, the g of x is equal to x minus 1, right? X minus 1. Now again, we have that wherever we see x in this function f, we are to replace it with x minus 1. We are to substitute it with that. So we have that x squared. So instead of x squared, you're going to have x minus 1 squared. That is what is representing this x squared. Minus 3x. Instead of having 3, we have this, right? And instead of having x, we have this. X minus 1. And then plus 2, we bring down plus 2. This is what it is, right? Now let us expand the brackets. Like I said, this is x squared. That is x squared. And then to get the middle term, these two times this element times this, that is times these variables, right? This element times this element. So we have 2 times x is 2x times minus 2 is minus 2x. And then we have minus 1 squared, which is plus 1. So that is it. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times minus 1 is plus 3. And then we bring down the plus 2. Now let's collect like terms. X squared is on its own. The terms in x. So this is 2x minus 2x minus 3x is minus 5x. Then this is plus 1. So all the numbers, all the constants are positive numbers. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6 plus 6. So this is f of g of x, right? Now remember the question says, for what value of x is f of g of x equal to 0? For us to get that, we have to say, we have to just equate this to 0. When we equate it to 0, we have a quadratic equation. We solve it and then get the values of x for which this quadratic equation has to be 0. Now the outside terms are plus 6, right? And the middle term, plus 6x squared. The middle term is minus 5x. We are looking for two numbers. We multiply them to give this. We add up to give this. So that is 2 times 3, right? 2 times 3 will give us 6 and 2 plus 3 will give us 5, right? But for the signs, we needed to add them. That means they have to carry the signs of this middle term. -2, -3. So -2 minus 3 is -5, right? And then -2 times -3 is giving us a +6. So we have to add x's to them. We have to replace this middle term with that. So x squared minus 2x minus 3x, we bring down the +6. We group in 2's. This is equal to 0. And then, and then we factorize. We have x as a common term here, and then -3 as a common term here. X minus 2 has to be repeated, equal to 0. And then we collect the outside brackets. X minus 3, x minus 2 equal to 0. Then if these two are equal to 0, we have that x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 2, right? And then these are the values of x for which f of g of x can be equal to 0. So x equal to 2 or x equal to 3.